Last month we have seen extreme fear in the crypto markets, and that was also very noticeable for both Bitcoin and CRO. So are we now in a bear market, or is it still yet time to buy? Well guys, I would say let's strap in and let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only Coin Baron, and this video is sponsored by WolfSwap, the leading DEX aggregator on Cronos, but more about that later. In this video, I want to figure out if it's still time to buy CRO or might it become time to sell your CRO, because that's an analysis we do every month. So if you like that kind of content, do not forget to hit the like button and of course subscribe for also the next monthly analysis. But overall, guys, we are in a very dumpy market right now, not only for CRO, but also for Bitcoin. And I need to remind you guys that just only 1 month ago, we set a new all-time high for Bitcoin here at about $110,000 for just that one Bitcoin. But right now, we are dumping a lot. We're down about 25% since that all-time high. So that does feel very painful. That's also why, from the intro, we have caused, well, the fear and greed index to really plummet to extreme fear. And this is really interesting, especially if you start to look at this in, well, historic context. So here we got a graph plot with all the crypto fear and greed index since 2018. And what you can see is that right now, to the right of me over here, we are very, very low values, trading about 10. And the last time we were basically trading at 10, that was all the way back in 2022, just after the FTX collapse here. And back then, guys, we were trading not at $100,000. No. We were trading at about $15,000 for one Bitcoin. And honestly, if you take a look really at what has happened fundamentally with Bitcoin since then, so much is different. For example, we got ETFs for Bitcoin. We got strategic reserves for Bitcoin. We got more companies buying Bitcoin. But still there is so much fear in the market. Honestly, if you were fearful back in 2022, I get it, because there was a lot of frauds in the market. But right now, fundamentally, the environment is a lot better. So this fear, I do believe, is not just. And that's also what they do mention here, right? Extreme fear can be a sign that investors are too worried. There could be a buying opportunity. There's also, I think, a very important element to take in consideration when you're thinking about buying or selling any cryptocurrency right now. So does that mean we're only going up from here? Well, unfortunately, I cannot guarantee that to you. For example, here we can see Bitcoin right now is jumping up, but there is still room to the downside as well here, to the 50-week simple moving average. Because as we've seen in the past as well, sometimes we have to go down to the 50-week just to retest for support. And not only that happened this year in September of 2024, it also happened, for example, here in the bull market of 2021. So here it touched, and here, unfortunately, it broke down below. But again, I do believe the bull market itself is still on. And also, I do believe, guys, there are a lot of arguments that we might see a lot of more upside, for example, from here on. And one of those arguments is this one over here, the CME futures chart for Bitcoin. And I've been talking about this, I think, in a few videos back, like a few months back. But we created a CME gap when we left off here in the big uptrend back in November. But we filled the CME gap here just yesterday, I think, as we went back into the purple area. So the CME gap, that one is completely filled. And also, if you can take a look right now, it seems like we're finding support on the daily chart, especially right at the 200-day here. So that's the purple line, the 200-day, very important average as well to find support on. So let's see how we're going to close the day today. But overall, Bitcoin is looking pretty okay. Also, if you take a look at other indicators right now, we got the stochastics here. Stochastics on the day oversold. On the week, also oversold. So overall, guys, it is looking pretty good for Bitcoin. But we might be able to dump a bit further. If we dump further, I think 73, 74k will be the lowest target. But that's only for me, no financial advice, of course. So Bitcoin is most likely close to a bottom, but what about CRO? Well guys, let's talk about that after a quick word from our sponsor. WolfSwap is a trading platform where you can easily trade your favorite tokens on chain. And when you make a trade, you can also earn points for that latest contest, Season X. And Season X is going to be very special. They have a minimum prize pool of $5,000, but also a loaded lion NFT. Climb the leaderboard now on wolfswap.app. You can find a link to WolfSwap in the description down below. But let's continue quickly with CRO, because on the chart here, you can see that we're basically back at the same price as November 2024, just before the Trump election. So it feels like almost nothing happened. But of course, fundamentally, a lot of things have changed ever since. For example, the US exchange launch for crypto.com. We have some more updates regarding MiCA regulation for crypto.com. We have upgrades to the Cronos chain. So overall, there are fundamentally good things happening for the CRO ecosystem, but the price is not reflecting that. And my main argument for that is probably the narrative right now is super strong pro Bitcoin, but against altcoins and especially against meme coins. I'm not saying that CRO is a meme coin, but it definitely got caught up in the fire that has been very negative, for example, for the Solana ecosystem. And that is also kind of visible here, for example, on the Bitcoin dominance chart. So this is following Bitcoin versus the biggest altcoins. And there you can definitely see that right now, we're back up really in a Bitcoin season. So here, that was really when Cronos was outperforming Bitcoin. But right now, everyone is putting their money back into Bitcoin, because they fear there might not be an altcoin season. And that's also what we saw specifically with CRO Bitcoin. So here we got CRO Bitcoin, and it almost feels like we've only been going down for the last few weeks, because that's the case. We have been only really going down since, I would say, the highs at almost $1 for CRO. Since then, we've been going down for the CRO Bitcoin valuation. But if there is any light at the end of the tunnel, it might be this here. It might be this. If you zoom in, you can see the last few days have been green for CRO Bitcoin. It has been green for CRO Bitcoin. And also this candle here looks pretty cool. A nice wick, but also looks like a hammer candle. So is this it? Is this the low for CRO Bitcoin? Is this really the low for CRO Bitcoin? And will we start scooping up from here? I think there is actually a quite decent chance that these are the lows. However, you can also see, for example, here, there was quite a bit of a hammer candle, and still we start falling down. So I'm not entirely sure yet, but I think we're getting to a crescendo soon. Another chart we've been following for a long time has been the CRO Rainbow chart. And last month we closed just below here, the blue zone. But this month we continued to the downside again. As you can see, we're right now at the outer zone of the green here, even below it a little bit. I do want to say though, for anyone that doesn't know the rainbow chart, for me, all these colors have meaning. So the green zone means the buy zone. The blue zone is a bit more of a neutral zone. Then we have the yellow zone. They need to start to prepare to sell at least. And in the red, you sell. And right now, we're still very low. So in my opinion, if you ask the question, is it still time to buy? Yes, we're still in the buy zone or even below the buy zone. So this might be ultimate discount due to the fear in the market. But this is interesting as well, because typically once we move to one of those zones, we actually have a bounce. Right now, we have not made a bounce, so we actually went to the downside. The question really is there another color? Is there another color for the rainbow chart? Do we miss one? Or is it really more like a temporary fluke? Because what we have seen here, for example, is we touch it, and we move up. We move up to a new zone, something like this over here. And then we could even move over to another zone here. So will we see another bounce in only a few more days or maybe weeks? Or are we going down further? I think next month is going to be absolutely crucial. So make sure, guys, you hit the like button and subscribe for more, because in the month of March, we'll make another video talking about April. So stay tuned for that one. Lastly, for CRO, I want to talk about a bit of seasonality, because what we can see is that typically Q4 and Q1 are actually quite decent months for CRO, at least on average. Q4 has been really good for us, but Q1 so far, it is not over yet, but Q1 has been a disaster. So if we continue going up actually in Q4 and Q1 like last year, we might see again that rally in the last month of Q1, which is March, of course. But okay, that's so far for CRO. I honestly believe we might be up for some more gains in the month of March. We have to wait and see. I do want to also talk about the DXY. The DXY here is the dollar currency index. So everything against the dollar, basically. And what is kind of funny is that dump that we are seeing right now, the end of February, is corresponding as well with a bit of a revival for the DXY here. DXY going up about 1%, which is pretty big for the DXY. But the overall trend that we do see for the DXY, it is down. It is down, really. So what I'm waiting for is really a breakdown of these averages here. And once we start to see a real breakdown for the DXY, typically Bitcoin has a run, altcoins have a run. Well, we have to wait and see again. I do believe a time will come where the DXY is going to fall more, and that will correspond with a nice bull run. For anyone still watching, you have survived a pretty brutal part of this bull cycle, because unfortunately, Bitcoin dropping 30% or more is all part of the journey to flush out all the leverage. But okay, you are still here, and what I'm doing myself is just stay calm, hodl, and even buy a bit more while the prices are low. But of course, guys, no financial advice. Let me know if you've been buying some more CRO in the comments down below. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like button and of course, strap in for more content. And also, guys, check out this video as well if you want to learn more really about, for example, the on-chain wallet.